أعزائي المشاهدين، أهلا وسهلا بكم من جديد مع برنامجكم الأسبوعي برنامج إماراتي. كما عودناكم في كل أسبوع نستضيف لكم خيرة من دولة الإمارات، قصة نجاح نشأت في الدولة. Mr. Albert, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you as well.
We are so lucky to be here with you in your company. Our team said to you, welcome in our program.
Thank you for having us, and it's a pleasure having you here.
And we would like to know about yourself. Who's Mr. Albert when he started his business activity at the first time and what he's doing at this moment?
So if I talk about myself, when I started in the travel business, I started quite young. Well, I was born here in Dubai, first of all, lived my life here throughout, and started my journey in the travel business at the age of 17. And Travel Wings per se have learned a lot over the years, still learning. And travelwings.com started the business in 2016. So it's an online travel company where customers can go online, make their complete booking online, let it be flights, hotels, holiday packages, everything. And today, God's grace, we have grown across 32 countries, and still happy to say that we are still expanding. I think by this year we'll be in totally 40 countries by this year.
Mr. Albert, before we talk about the records and what you have, let's talk about your childhood or how the love came between you and the travel.
So, I've been traveling since I was probably 3 months old, because I was born here, right? So every year my parents would take me back home to India. That's where I'm from. And as I grew, I've been seeing how people are traveling, why only these many people are traveling, why can't it be many? Because those days travel was very expensive. I still remember the days when Dubai to Trivandrum, because I'm from Tamil Nadu, it used to be 3,500 dirham per person in economy class. Today you have tickets of 300 dirhams per person. So now you have a lot of travelers, but those days it was. So I used to always think, how can you bring this up? So that whole thing came into my blood, and probably from the age of 12, I always thought I want to revolutionize in travel. I wanted to create technology in travel. So that was my dream. So I started doing my baby steps from then. And I decided at the age of 17, let me start working in the travel business, right at the counters, handling customers, saying, good morning, can I help you to make a travel booking, stuff like that. Started from there, still learning. I think we're trying to do something different.
When we talk about the approved to work with Danata, that time it was so. Then when you told me, I get shocked. It's 17 years old, and you work with Danata, right?
I was temping for the first year because they couldn't make me permanent. It was a temporary staff, and then at the age of 18, I became permanent. Yes.
And when we talk about that time, we're talking about booming time in UAE or
yes.
Dubai, exactly.
Yes.
We talk about from that time until 2009, the booming.
Yes.
What you educate in the booming time?
So first phase of that career, I learned how to interact with customers, understand their psychology. Then I understood how is fare constructions and ticketing works. Then I started implementing that in tech, and I started creating online travel companies. So it has been that journey. So that's what I learned over the last. If I break it down into 4 phases.
2009, it was hard in UAE. It's very hard because the crisis come in the world and affects many companies, and the airline section, it's affected from the crisis, right?
Oh yes, it did.
And after that, you take your decision in 2010 to start your own company.
In 2009, yes, 2010, I co-founded a company called Jube.com. It was a fantastic journey, learned a lot. But I failed because not everything that you know is the right thing you do. So made some mistakes, failed, but never gave up. Learned from that, learned how we can take it to the next level. And journey is always something where not everything is flary. It's roses with thorns. So there's always pain and there's always gain. So sometimes you fail, but never give up. You learn from those mistakes. Try the next time. Try the next time. And today, alhamdulillah, if I may say, it is going in the right direction.
You keep saying fail, or you can say, I find the way how to fail, or I know how to fail.
It is still a learning phase. Trust me, you might know 100 things, and in that you might know this will go well, this is something you should not do. But in this world, there are more than 1 billion things. So learning is always till your death. You keep on trying new things. Not everything you do can be successful. As long as you have that confidence that I want to achieve that end goal, and that is what my vision is, you will fail in certain areas, but you climb up and you go further. I mean, that's how I look at life.
You choose to the challenge in UAE. When we talk about Dubai, we're talking about the opportunity for everyone over the world. Many people come as investor, have money to start. You start from scratch and you prove yourself in this market. How?
It's all about, okay, if I may tell you, my mother used to tell me one thing, and my wife always supports me with that, is don't think about your journey, think about the end goal. I think if you just think about the end goal, the journey is a memory, but you should hit your end goal.
In the business life, always we can talk about the challengers in the market. When we talk about the challengers, we talk about to prove ourselves, not only to be number one time, to keep always on the top. Same as Highness, what he mentioned. It's hard to be number one, but the hardest is to stay on the same level. How we can be always in the top and never go any step back in our business life?
I think it's about the end consumer. Any line of business. It's not about you being number one. I think if you think that you want to be number one, you'll never be number one. But if you think that the end consumer, let it be any field, let it be travel, let it be mobile phones, let it be anything and everything. If the end consumer is happy, you automatically become number one. So it's about setting your goals there. If you get that right, the rest all will follow.
Travelwing.com.
Yes.
This website or this idea, it's nobody know about it, or not all the people. Let's talk about it first. What's the idea of this website?
So travelwings.com is a UAE-grown online travel company. You can book your flights, hotels, packages, everything online. But when it comes to packages, we also make sure that we give you the experience offline to make sure it's being confirmed. So it's a business which is completely driven by technology on one side, but human emotions on the other side.
When we build the infrastructure for any business and we want to expand it over the world, so always we need to choose the people or right people to manage that area. How you choose your managers in all the world?
Okay, so I have a very strong philosophy. You break your business into 10 verticals: operations, business development, finance, everything. And in those business verticals, you make sure you hire a person who's better than you in that field. I think that's the biggest success factor. You have to hire a guy who's much better than you, or hire a girl who's much better than you in that field, because you cannot do everything by yourself. You require people who can make it happen for you. And you give them the freedom to do what they have to do to make it happen by just giving them the vision. This is the vision. This is what we want to achieve. How do you think you can be a part of that success story? And I think that's the way I drive my team.
In my vision book for His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, he mentioned that it's hard to find someone sit on the chair. So not the CEO to sit on the chair, right?
Yes.
How we can build the leaders in our company?
Allow them to make mistakes. Not everything is perfect. So we always have this discussion within our leadership teams. Take a step as long as it is logical. Make sure it's a logical move. Let's hope this logical move becomes successful. If you take a logical step and because of other circumstances it fails, let us take the next step. And I think, like how I grew, it's important for my line managers and my CMOs and everyone to go through that journey where they take the decision, they take the ownership, and you say that I am behind you, go ahead. If you fall, I'll pull you back. I think that's the confidence you should give to your team and say that go swim, do it. I'm there behind you. Change your direction a bit here, go ahead. But go ahead, I'm there behind you. I think that is the most important strength you should give, and they automatically start becoming leaders.
As always, the mistakes, sometimes it's throw us too much far away.
That's the reason, if you remember what I said, as long as your step is logical, it has to be a logical step. If it is a logical step, the dent will not be bad. There will be a dent, but it will not be something that will break the whole foundation. So it's about taking logical steps. With those logical steps, things we hope will go well. It is conviction that it should go well, but again, we are learning in the journey. So sometimes it can go wrong.
When we talk about 2019, the world has changed with Corona. When Corona come to this world, and changed everything in this life. During Corona, you expand for 10 countries.
Yes, we did.
Gambling or idea or why?
I think it was conviction. It was a logical step and conviction. See, because first of all, we're running a business. So we saw that as an opportunity because it was easy to penetrate when everybody were dormant. So instead of sitting back and saying, how do I go about things? You think, how do I create new opportunities? And we did that. It was a very tough decision, to be honest, but we said, let's go ahead and do it. Worst comes to worst, what will happen? This will happen. So be it. Let's move ahead. But we did it with conviction, and we did it correctly. So when we expanded into 10 countries, it was not about just for the sake of expanding. We made sure we had local call center numbers. We made sure we had local dialects of language, local currencies, local payment solutions, local pricing, everything local. And we had the whole workforce. So one thing we did, and I think that's a blessing, which I feel today, we did not let go one person. We said everybody was busy with 2-3 countries, took the entire workforce and said, let us together work and expand. Anyway, we have to do this work. So let's work on expansion. And we expanded there.
Building a trust with customers is hard, and building a trust with investors is so hard.
Yes.
Investors trust you and they invest and ask you to manage. What you are managing? So
our investors and the chairman, Mr. Anil Chandrani himself, he himself is in the travel domain. He understands the travel business. So I'm lucky that way in terms of the investors understand what the travel business is. So I've been blessed that we can work together in synergies and we can take it to the next level. So that part is taken care from that perspective. I think the most difficult part was the customer bit, and that is where we focused a lot. See, because when it comes to an online travel company, people book on the internet. Many things around the world, online travel companies forget the customer bit. Today, God's grace, if you go to our website, go to Trustpilot, go to TripAdvisor, go to Google reviews. Touch wood, I think we have done something and we're trying to do something. Our customers love us. Our ratings are more than 4.5. I think that answers everything.
From 10 people, there is a 3 only they can book online.
So that was a revolution that we wanted to do. So because we always go back and see, we didn't want to create an online travel company just for being an online travel company. We wanted to fix a problem. We wanted to create ease and convenience. So that was the vision. So with that, I still remember when we said, which is the most painful area for a customer to complete a booking online? Is the passenger information page.
Filling information. Right?
Filling information. If there are 4 or 5 passengers or family of 6 or 7, it's a nightmare.
We need a broker.
Yes. So what we did was we created algorithms. Today on Travel Wings, if you have a family tree, all you have to do is you select 7 passengers, go to the passenger information page. Like for example, in my profile, you will see a beautiful picture of my family. I will drag and drop my family picture and check out.
No need to refill again.
I don't have to refill anything. How we did the testing of this website was quite more interesting. It's a joke that I can say. Our technology testers, we made them to say, guys, run on treadmills. We wanted to run on a treadmill and make a booking. So we thought if a human brain is able to just put 20% of his focus on the screen and 80% focus on his body because he is running, we are creating easiness for the customer when he's still. So a lot of science behind it, a lot of revolution behind it. But at the end of the day, it's that emotional smile, So we try to focus technology to make people smile. How do we make people smile? I think that will create traction. So
Always to build a relation with our employees is so hard because we need to ask them what they need. We need to be in their personal life also. You have time for that for your employees?
For my employees, you mean for my employees or for myself? I just want to
your employees.
Yes. So for employees, we give them all the kind of facilities that's possible. They have times where they can work from home, stuff like that. And one thing that we definitely do, anything to do with their families, they want to go and spend time with their families, they just do it. So their families are our families, right? Like today, how my family is supporting me to build this up, we want even their families to feel the same. Saying my husband or my wife is trying to do something, let me support them to me. So how do you create that culture? So I think it's more about creating a family culture. And sometimes we all get together, we cook together. Entire teams of their families, we all sit together, we cook together. I think it's more of a family. You're creating a big mansion, but we don't want to break it down as a bureaucratic organization. We feel that it is something where employee has a voice. They question me, and I feel happy when we have people who question. And I think that's the right way to take business to success.
Mr. Albert, to start from scratch and be responsible more than 1,000 people over the world, or 4,000 people over the world, it's so hard to schedule the time for you and for them. How you can manage your time?
I try to break them down into KPIs. So instead of we going and saying, I want to look at everything that you do, we have scientifically broken them down into KPIs. So for example, if I talk about, let's say, the marketing department, there are 1,000 things that they do across the world, but all that boils down to 3-4 results. So how we monitor is to manage so many countries, we only look at the 3-4 results. Is this done? Is this done? Is this done? The rest will follow automatically.
When we will reach for 500 million?
500 million on a personal level you're talking about. So that's been a dream of mine, So it's not about driving a Ferrari. That's a commodity. My mother always told me one thing. You come in this world without anything. You go back from this world without anything. So the question is not what you have done for yourself in this world. It's about what you have done for others in this world. And if you can be an instrument to make a small difference, I think that is what aspires me. So that is what the number that I spoke about, what I want to create probably before I leave this place.
When we talk about most or the award that you take in 2022, why you take this one or why they gave it to you?
I'm first of all humbled that they gave it to me. I sometimes think, am I worthy for it? To be honest. There are many other people who have achieved a lot as well, who have achieved probably financially a lot more than what I've done. But I think probably they looked at the quality, and I'm still trying to improve myself. All I'm trying to say is that I'm humbled that I received it, but I think I can do more.
Your grandfather built something in your character. What is it?
I haven't seen him, to be honest. He probably died when my mother was 12. But his legacy is what changed me, saying, you live for yourself. That's exactly the same thing. That's all in the blood. You live for yourself, you are a normal person. You live for others, you're creating a legacy. And I think that's what I'm trying to do, make people smile.
So have you ever been selfish?
I sometimes think, sometimes you should, but I think I'm happy this way.
Future important?
Very important.
What we have for it?
Very, very important. So future for the business or future for
Mr. Albert?
For myself. Yeah, so I think first I think about the family. if I talk about me, I think about my family, not about me. That's my problem. So I'm creating something good for my family in terms of how they will live. I think more importantly, future for my family is I'm teaching my children what is real life. For example, my kids, they're just 5.5. We make them clean the toilets. They clean the toilets, they come back, they get one dirham pocket money. They should feel that working is how you make money. So they become real people instead of living in luxury. So that's one thing. But for me, I think the future of Travel Wings. When I started Travel Wings, the first thing I did was we bought the domains of Travel Wings across 135 countries. So we own the domain of Travel Wings across 135 countries. With the vision, we will be there. So future for Travel Wings is going to be in 135 countries, inshallah.
Inshallah. Mr. Albert, we know that UAE is a target for many people over the world coming here as an investor or employee looking for a job. What the first advice you can give it for any newcomer in this country?
First thing that I would say that for any person who's coming to this country, it is coming from a person who was born in this country. It is one of the best places to live in the planet. I have been to many countries across the world, but there is no better place to live than the UAE, whatever said and done. Because I'll give you one example, and I want people to reflect upon it. During the pandemic, there are a lot of things imported in this country. Not even once the rulers of this country created a situation that there was scarcity of food, there was scarcity of water, there was scarcity of bread. They made sure everything came in on time. That is the biggest blessing you can think of, how the rulers of this country take care of this country, which did not happen in many other countries. And for anybody who comes here, I think it's a place to live their dreams, throughout their talent. And I think UAE is one country, and especially the government organizations, and I hope, to be very honest, that all the organizations in the country live that dream, is give the opportunity for the employees, let them show their creativity, let them grow, then you grow along with them.
His Highness Sheikh Zayed, when he started this country, when he started the first step, he was respect the humanity.
Yes.
This is how they built this country. Now we are talking about the country which have more than 200 nationalities and peace and safety. We never ask what the time to walk in the street or no, or close our door, or even if our car open or closed, right? This opportunity that we have, we should say something for the leaders and the people.
I think when it comes to the rulers of this country, the first thing that I would say is a big thank you, because you have been the core reason why this country has grown to such a level. Having 85% expatriates and giving them lives is not an easy thing. And please continue doing the same thing. Be those good humans that you are today. And please continue to make your children do the same thing in the future.
And from our side, we will say for you also, please continue what you are doing, and we are proud to be one of our guests today, and welcome again our program. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you.
في كل إمارة تروح تسندك عقل وروح، بر ومدن وجبال حاجة ترد